Hello, everybody. This is Clintleetwood, and I'm here with another Mechabellum replay review. Today, I have a request from a user by the name of Sleepiest of Kittens. He said to me, "No, we're sorry." He said to me, "Here's a game that I feel like if I didn't win on round 9, he would have come back to win the whole thing." So I think I've mentioned this previously in my gameplay reviews. Health is a resource ultimately, right? And even if we're winning a game with 100 HP, that's good enough. However, I understand if there is this desire to have a game be more comfortable or feel less stressful overall when approaching it. So let's see if we can pull out some small details here and probably increase our chances for winning. Let's set the stage, though. However, first, my name is Clintleetwood. I am a 1900 rated Mechabellum player, which puts me in the top 50-ish area for the 501, and I think around the 140 range for World. I have a lot of insight to give, and I like to help people learn this game, and I have a real desire to help out people. So, with that being said, if you haven't watched one of these videos before, I'm going to apologize in advance. It's going to be a long one. It's going to be probably a 30-40 minute long video where I step through each one of the rounds in this game or in this replay and sort of stream of conscious long form dialogue with myself. Some things that I have seen and would do different, or may approach differently. And at the end, right, what I'll do is I'll probably take a couple notes here or there, revisit a couple rounds, and see if we can eke out some better advantages here. With that being said, though, we have Sleepiest of Kittens, our protagonist here, on Quick Supply Specialist with Tarantula Fang, very strong draft, versus our antagonist on Elite Specialist, Yossarian, with Ball Crawler. There is a world, right, where this Ball Crawler can be like symmetrically aggro in this corner and this corner, and it might overwhelm our tarantulas. But at the end of the day, right, if we just slam down 2 tarantulas, we are cooking. So let's see if that's what you end up doing. There's kind of 2 ways to approach this. Yeah, and I think the 2 tarantula start is like too good to pass up. I love it. And we're going for a bit of an aggro start. Okay. This is not how I normally play tarantulas. I usually play them in a more standard position and let the enemy come to me. Especially, right, if I'm going up against this sort of draft, where I feel like the opponent is more inclined to aggro into me. If I'm your opponent, um, I don't know. I mean, like level 2 crawlers, like take 2 shots from a tarantula, so that seems fine. Only downside is we don't have great options to clear out the chaff. If your opponent does that, but okay, yeah, level 2 crawlers makes sense. Looks like I only got 1 pair though, so you banked 150. Interesting. And this should go pretty heavily in your favor here, yeah, because the balls are locking onto the fangs, which is not ideal. The right side does lose, but that's the side with the level 2 crawlers, so that makes sense. And another tarantula goes down. We actually mitigate a lot of experience being shared here, which is good. Okay, round 2 drop. What are we thinking? If I'm you, Sleepiest, I'm probably thinking Arc Lights. Badger. One of these 2 seem very strong here. If I'm your opponent, probably Arc Lights, maybe Marksman, maybe Foon, maybe Badger. I think all these are like I think these 3 in particular are pretty okay for your opponent to pick up. I think I've mentioned in the past, but I feel like these unique units, the Badger, Typhoon, Sabretooth, I think are uniquely stronger on Elite Spec, just because I feel like the level 2 breakpoints for these units are much higher than their base, if that makes sense. Like, the best way I can describe this is, and this isn't using an example regarding the elite unit or the rare unit. If you're ever in like a fort AA versus Overlord matchup, right? It's 3 forts to 1 level 1 Overlord to kill. However, a level 2 Overlord requires 2 volleys, 2 or 6 total volleys for it to die, right? And in that time frame, it is very likely that the Overlord, if it gets onto any of your fortresses, is killing them in 2 volleys right back. So there becomes this weird numbers game. And I feel like the elite spec can really accelerate with these sort of cards. So I would anticipate it's either Badger or Foon, if I had to guess. That's what my heart of hearts is telling me. So let's see what Sleepiest goes for Marksman. We're running Assault Marksman. We are not. Okay. We go Master Recruit, Triple Crawler. Okay. I think this has merit, right? We have our chaff clear, I think, in these tarantulas. So I think what you're trying to do is round out your single target damage and marksman, and I think that's a valid take. I think it's fine, right? And at the end of the day, we've just deployed 6 units to the battlefield here, which is crazy. I would say the only thing that I would ask in the future is you want to leave 3 squares here. So this should be, I think it's 1, 2, 3 over. And what that allows, right, is if there ever is a Fire Badger flank or a Crawler Arclight flank, we can put a Rhino here, and the Rhino just holds it all down. Same thing with this side. We should always just have them scooted in like a little bit, just to like right here or so. That should really help overall with potential flanks. Looks like your opponent has unlocked Mustang, so it's probably Mustang Crawler this turn. Unless they sell, and they sold. Okay, they sold a free unit. We didn't see what it was. But it was probably the Foon or the Badger, if I had to take a guess. These Mustangs do pose a little bit of a threat to us. Let's see, we're having a little bit of trouble clearing this right side. We have Crawlers on Marksman, which is something we just do not want. But maybe this Tarantula survives and gets a level. Cool. So I think I've mentioned this in a previous video. I think it was actually my last one, where if you can win the first couple rounds against elite spec, right, suddenly we have levels on our units, and the advantage is now moot. And this is starting, you can sort of see this ball starting to roll now with us taking an upgrade here. I think this is a bit of a mistake on the Fang, but I do like it on these Crawlers. I see we're also going for a tech specialist card. So it sounds like we're going to be scaling pretty heavily into the late game. It looks like we drop a Crawler. We like to see it horizontally here, so we can catch some of this chaff coming in and give this tarantula some breathing room. We also put down a missile. I think this is a temporary solution for a problem that's going to hamper us for a minute now. Okay, so your opponent did grab the Typhoon and sell it. Okay, cool. You went and unlocked Scorpion here. I'm not sure why. Maybe I think your goal is to go double Scorpion next round, which seems fine. Like, I think Tarantula Scorpion goes pretty well together. Your opponent goes high explosive ammo. This is definitely an overreaction from your opponent. Oh, this missile's pretty good. That was a pretty good missile. Yeah, I mean, this looks really good for you. Something I'd kind of like to see maybe in the future, in the next couple rounds, is a range in tarantulas. We've taken tech spec, and we need to be using that pretty heavily here. This is sort of what I was talking about earlier, right? Now we have 3 levels on our chaff clear, which can basically kill everything here pretty efficiently. So yeah, I would really like to see this or this clicked. Spider Mine scaled with levels, so that's pretty massive. Lightning Storm, Incendiary Bomb, pretty good. Energy shield device, I think, is actually like pretty decent for your opponent. You don't really have any great options to punch through your shield here. We have some good single target that could help, but nothing that's like consistent, constant damage. So it's bad for us, but good for our opponent. We go for Incendiary Bomb, right? And Incendiary Bomb, like, right here would be pretty hosey. Right here would be pretty hosey. Your opponent can also go for Lightning Storm, which could hurt. Yeah, I like what you're cooking up here. This is solid. We just have to be worried that he shields, right? Because he's coming to us, we could even have the Incendiary Bomb up here, where it's a much less likely place to shield, and more likely for your opponent to run in and die, right? Because he hasn't clicked range here, so these are basically pretty darn close whenever they go into a fight. We go for one Scorpion. So we took an upgrade. I think upgrading the Fangs is a mistake. I think this just feeds experience into these Mustangs. We don't really want to do that. Okay, so yeah, this is a little unfortunate, but I think it pans out for us okay. Depends if these marksmen run in or not, and it doesn't look like they're going to. Okay, we barely win this round. Oh, we don't actually win this round. Oh no. So unfortunately, there's not really a way for us to play around that. That's okay. That's how it goes sometimes. I would like to note, though, that we've taken tech spec on, I think it was round 2? Round 3? And we haven't made use of it at all. We should probably be considering teching our units. Right, if we had range tech on our marksmen, we are comfortably killing those phoenixes without them running through the fire and dying. You go for double Arclight. I think there's merit to also thinking about double Sabertooth. I've been messing around with the Spider Sabertooth Stang recently, and I find that it's very strong. There are some other options for that where we can do Spider, Saber, like Marksman, and that's also pretty good. I think the main reason why that comp is so strong right now is due to the fact of how tanky spiders are and how tanky Sabertooths are, and how much damage both of them can do. So yeah, what I would say here is I think Arclights are fine. I would really, really like to see some tech being clicked around this time now, though. Your opponent, I mean, like, Rhino's, like, kind of a dick beating. Sabertooths against us is pretty decent. Fire Badgers is not the greatest. Arclights also are not the greatest. So it's probably one of these two your opponent picks. Notably, no flanks have occurred except for this little Arclight here. This is pretty heads up, honestly, right? We notice that our opponent is playing very heavily asymmetrically on this side, right? And so that means, this is vulnerable, and we can pull it. I think we actually have this misplaced just slightly. I think if it's right here, it pulls everything. So that's something to keep in mind in the future. Sometimes these arrows lie, but sometimes they're also somewhat accurate. I wouldn't always trust them, but I think, at least my experience of this game is telling me my gut's telling me that this should be like right here, and it would pull everything here, and I have, without a shadow of a doubt, that it kills everything here too. Okay, we picked Spider-Man. It's cool. So we do take a tech. Awesome. We need to be doing that basically every round here on out. Otherwise, this game might end before we get our tech specialist paid off. So to give you an idea, right? Excuse me. To give you an idea, right? Tech specialist cost 100, which means we missed out on the 50 that it cost in that round, which means that this opportunity cost of this card, right, is 150 credits. That means at 3 at 3 techs on our units, we break even. On 4, we're positive. So we need to be teching very aggressively if we're taking this card. All right. Excuse me. Your opponent goes charged shot Phoenix. Underground threat. Subterranean blitz. So it's very interesting. Your opponent's taking tech spec, and he's doing exactly what you should be doing, which is teching quite aggressively. This is a little bit of an unfortunate pull. I think this was a heads-up decision, nevertheless. It just kind of panned out in a different way. But I think right now, right, what we're seeing at least a little bit here of is our units being a little outclassed because we haven't invested as much currency into them. All of his units have some amount of benefit from what they've taken. This is a damage upgrade. This is a chat. Okay, I'm clicking the Mustang, am I not? Yeah, there we go. This is a chaff clear upgrade. His balls have a absorption tech on them, which means that, okay, so we need to be very aggressively teching now. I want to see at least 2 techs around, basically, at this point. This is a HP increase, right? And I believe this is an overall survivability increase. So, sorry, Iceman, not now. We've got a lot going on here, and I think we're cooking. I think we're just not thinking about these things in an economical way. But I would like to see a lot of techs here coming now. Otherwise, I think we're going to start falling very far behind. Okay, we go for Vulcan. A little troll into this board, I think. I'd like to hear your thoughts on why you did this. I think when you look at charge shot Phoenixes and absorption module balls, or what is it called? Energy absorption, sorry. Energy absorption balls. We are running the gambit of feeding a bunch of experience and watching this do absolutely nothing, which I think it might actually do. And here we are again. We are completely broke. We have not taken a single tech this round, even though our techs cost 100 less, right? We could take range here for 200. We could take range here for 200. We could take range here for 400, as opposed to unlocking and placing down this Vulcan. So we are just hurting ourselves economically, even though we don't need to. Let's see what your opponent does. We got a Rhino. Okay, so they sold the Rhino earlier. Yeah, and instantly deleted, so we need to be selling this next round. I have a feeling this is going to get popped pretty quick. We just have a lot of chaff coming in, though, huh? And it's going to die. And it looks like some crawlers got on our tower over here. And, yeah, I would say we feel pretty far behind at this point. This is a skip. I guess what you're trying to do is play for Incendiary Bomb again. Maybe we oil here and we hit him for 1 million. I don't know. I don't think this is correct. I don't think skill spec is correct here. To give you an idea of when I think this would be correct is if we had like another activatable, like intensive training, or if we had another activatable like orbital bombardment, right? And we're trying just to close the game out a turn earlier. I don't think Incendiary Bomb is that impactful right now. I mean, granted, it would kill his Mustangs here and his crawlers here, but I don't know if it's worth spending another 150 on. We need to be selling this. Okay. We should always be picking range on this first over aerial specialization. I understand your line of thinking here. You're saying I want to do more damage and I want to shoot these things farther. Ranged essentially does that too. Range is also not a conditional, right? It's just a straight up extra 40. And we need to be playing around the idea that if we took Skill Specialist to refresh our Incendiary Bomb, he could have as well, right? So he can Incendiary Bomb right here again, and regardless of us teching this, our marksman could walk into this fire and die. However, if we had always clicked this, they would not. We need to be selling this arc light off. I'd really like to see you click this. Okay, looks like the range was taken. Range on two different units here. It's a little spooky. We have range on... Oh, see, that's what I was afraid of. We just don't have any chaff to cover it, and it just falls over. Luckily, right, we did kill everything over here with this Incendiary Bomb. We do get to hit this guy for quite a bit. But there is a part of me that wonders if instead we could have just gone oil bomb as well and just killed... Oh no. See, this is the bad part about Incendiary Bomb. When we're walking at an opponent, this tech is bad. When the opponent is walking at us, that tech is good. Alright, a lot of damage. I think we might have been able to kill him with an oil bomb, so let me write that down. Round 7, oil, does it kill? We need an extra 500. We needed 500 extra. And we go for Sabertooth with Photon. This tech is super inconsistent, and I would avoid using it, personally. If we wanted Photon, right, we could have gone for another unit drop here. Potentially this Overlord, right? Drop another Overlord, click Photon Emission for 300 or whatever it is. Okay, we're playing down, playing around Incendiary Bomb as best we can. Nice. I can see it. I'm going to say round 8. Let's also check out Overlord Photon instead of Saber. I mean, this is a pretty disgusting Incendiary Bomb. However, our big guy dies. And we're burning our chaff again. Ugh. So this is ending up... This Incendiary Bomb has, I would say, has hurt us a lot more than it's helped us. I think Scorch range would have been better. And yeah, this looks like we're dead here. Let's go on to the next. Round 9. Mobilized battleship. Photon emission. I mean, photon emission is what you're looking for, I think. Okay, yep, sticky oil bomb. Fine. Oh wow, he's really trying. Yeah, just... That's just silly. He stops the first volley, but the second volley... I don't know. And this looks good, right? We should just need to get in on this tower. Okay, maybe it doesn't look good. Oh, no. Okay, whew. Yeah, I think we got a little lucky here at the end. But well played. I don't think you're ever really in trouble. I think we missed an opportunity to kill here. So we need to do 2,700 in total. We did 22, so we need to do 2,754. Cool. I'm going to take over for you here. We went skill spec. We did this. I'm going to take this. Go here. And things, since I think I can kill my opponent, I'm going to do this and just like really push. You need to do 2,800 here. This looks very close to that. You see 2,700. Yeah. So we did miss an opportunity to kill here. When Incendiary Bomb is up, we always need to be cognizant of the fact that we can Alpha Strike our opponent with Sticky Oil Bomb, especially right if we didn't see them respected earlier, and doubly so if we don't think they think we're going to go Skill Specialist, if that makes sense, right? Because we get to cheat it out in a round early. It's a bit of a surprise, and if someone's not super heads up about it, that could just be the game. I think another couple big determining factors here were the range on these units and the range on this unit. We need to be selling out of stuff that is underperforming, like this Arclight in the corner, and funneling that into something else, right? Because that was 250 credits. I was able to basically buy range for free with that. So something to think about in the future. I also wanted to look at one more thing here, which was round 8 Overlord instead of Overlord Photon instead of Saber Photon, and see if that also is a hard win. I suspect it is. Okay, skip round 9. Oh no, it's round 8. Round 8. Round 8. Sleepiest of Kittens. Overlord. Oh, it's a misclick. It's fine. We can make it work. Oh, we don't run Photon. Oh. That makes a lot of sense. Why you didn't go for boats then. I think this is still probably like pretty good. I think this is a meme. I think this is you playing FFA and forgetting to switch your text, if I'm being 100 with you. I would probably just run Photon Emission and then keep these other 3 techs, and I think you're good. I think the only synergy that doesn't work here is both range enhancement and Overlord Artillery. If I'm not mistaken, range enhancement puts Overlord Artillery outside of the range that it can properly shoot. So we might want to go for like Launcher Overload here instead of range. So just some thoughts. An Incendiary hurts. And an Incendiary doesn't do great here. So I ended up losing that. Partly due to a misclick here, but also from the fact that I am playing the way that I know how to play for my stuff and not the stuff that you had. So I think your round 8 actually lost less than mine did there. So yeah, I think, let's see, what are some key takeaways we can have here? Key takeaways. If we're going tech spec, we need to be aggressively teching. We need to be selling out of units that are underperforming, like the arc on the flank, and bankrolling that into better stuff. Adjust unit techs slightly. Photon on boat and overload on boat, for example. Incendiary bomb is a trap on Vulcan if we are walking at the opponent and not the other way around. We want them to walk to us. Okay, cool. So I would say Sleepiest, well played. I think you got a little lucky in that last round with how some things split there. But you know what? That's how fights go, right? Like everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Yeah, so some key takeaways here, right? I think you overvalue tech specialist. I didn't really see you take full advantage of it. I think you just saw a card that like made your army potentially better, and you're like, wow, that must be really good, so I'm going to take it. Outside of that, like try to calm down on that, or if you do take that card, you need to have a very cohesive plan moving forward the next couple rounds about what you are going to do with that tech. Another thing, right, is that we had some units deeply underperforming. We should be selling out of those and putting that elsewhere. And, oh, here's another good takeaway here. Always be aware of the incendiary bomb, alpha strike, sticky oil, alpha strike. Cool. I think that's it for me. This video is about 35 minutes long, which is, I think, a little too long, but hey, you know what? That's how it goes. If you enjoyed this, please drop me a sub on YouTube, drop a like and a comment as well in the video. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about feedback. We are messing around with a couple different things here over in my ad hoc studio. And Yeah, and outside of that, I do some streaming on Twitch occasionally, and if that is up your alley, drop me a follow over on twitch.tv/Clintleetwood. Outside of that, that's all for me today. Bye.